how far would you go to save your sibling's life? Would you be willing to kill someone in order to move time forward another day? How many people would you kill to save them? These questions are brought to reality in the book Massacre, Happy End. I enjoyed this book because of its dark and make you think plot, which allowed the book to move forward in a more psychological direction. In this speech, I will give a description of this book, Massacre, Happy End, and my personal evaluation of this book. So this book is a mystery, psychological, and supernatural book. This book primarily revolves around the main character, or main protagonist, Makoto, and his younger sister, with some other side characters being the detective who acts as his antagonist, the detective's partner, and the main character's girlfriend. So, high school student Makoto is trying to raise money for his younger sister, who suffers a terrible illness. With the condition that she's in, it's worsening every day, and he begins to become desperate. So desperate to the point that he begins to pray to the gods for any chance of her survival. The gods hear these prayers, and he receives a call later from the hospital saying that they will be able to perform surgery on his younger sister. At first, although all seems well, when midnight hits, the day is reset, and at first Makoto does not realize what's going on. He just realizes that he's going crazy, and he does not realize that the day actually went back in time. What happens later, though, is he realizes that his sister's also stuck in this time loop with him, and this is a problem because since everyone else goes back in time without realizing, her surgery is unable to happen while her condition worsens every day. With this understanding of what Massacre Happy Ending is, I'd like to talk about how my evaluation of this book is. So the start of the book was really strong. I really liked the unique dark plot that this book went into. It was very intense, and because it was very emotionally crushing, with the characters I got attached to, that all died to the main protagonist. It was not a typical scary book, but it was in a sense where there were jump scares and monsters out of this world. But it was one that definitely made me think about the morality of the decisions that he was forced into, and it really put me into his position on whether or not I would do the same thing. While losing his sanity, his driving factor to keep him living was to save his little sister, who had once filled him up with lots of joy. Although the start of this book was very strong, I cannot say the same about the ending. I feel as if the ending of this story was very lazy, and it did not live up to how strong the start of the book was. They added characters out of nowhere to try to develop the plot more when it was unnecessary. The plot became too complicated towards the end when it started off at a good level, and the story was really dragged out, and either it could have ended differently or it could just ended earlier in general. Although it was definitely subpar to my expectations from the start of this book, I definitely enjoyed the book overall. Now that I've given a brief description of this book, as well as my evaluation, Massacre Happy Ending was definitely a notable book. It had a very unique plot, and it really delved into the realm of psychological horror. This may not be a book that suits everyone's interests, but if you enjoy psychological horror mystery books, then this may be something that you would enjoy reading. Although I may have not enjoyed the ending all that much, that does not mean you will not. And who knows? Maybe you will need to know how to kill in order to make a new day.